Hey everyone, James Rath here. This week I have a video here with Molly Burke, and we are joined also by Gallop, who is Molly's guide dog. And she also has a channel. She's blind or legally blind?
Blind.
Blind.
Yeah.
So she identifies as blind, and she has nystagmus as well as me, so that's something.
Shaky eye twins.
Yeah. So we're joined by Gallop because I have yet to discuss guide dogs on my channel, and that's something I would love to do, especially with a growing audience that is visually impaired and legally blind.
And I've been a guide dog user for 9 years, so
That's impressive.
I know a lot about guide dogs. Right, buddy? Yeah.
Seems
Not this
distracted.
one for 9 years, but total 9 years between the two.
I got a couple questions here for Molly, and we're gonna just try and get some answers about life with a guide dog and some etiquette and behavior bystanders should use.
Perfect.
All right, so the first question is just overall, what is the purpose of a guide dog's job?
Well, a guide dog for me is, I'm totally blind, so it depends on your vision.
Okay.
For me, I need him for everything. So he helps me find the curbs on sidewalks. He cannot determine when it's appropriate to cross the road or not because he can't see the street signs.
Okay.
But he does stop, so that way I know that I'm at the edge of the curb and it's now my turn to listen to the street crossings and determine when it's safe for me to cross. However, if I choose a time to cross and he's looking and doesn't think it's safe, he won't let me go. It's basically trained disobedience. So they're trained to not listen to you if they don't think what you're saying is a good idea.
Yeah.
But I can also ask him to find a door, find the stairs, find a chair. So he'll take me to an empty chair at a restaurant if I'm in a really busy restaurant and can't find an empty chair. So does lots of cool things. What's
Great.
so interesting to me is for most service dogs, it's not so much a life in the paws kind of situation, but when you're blind, it is. Because he has the power to let me cross the street when it's not safe. Whereas other people, say in a wheelchair with a service dog, picks up your keys, it helps you hit the buttons for the doors, but it's not leading you.
Yeah.
And so it's a little bit different. So what's really interesting is how they have to train guide dogs to be so aware of their surroundings.
Absolutely.
He has to be able to look at a space and determine, can my mom and I both fit through there? And if we can't, I have to decide how I'm going to get her to where she wants to go. So he has to actually have a lot of initiative and decide, okay, mom's telling me to go through here, but we're not gonna fit, so it's not safe, but I still need to get her to the end result, end destination. How am I gonna do that? And figure out how he's gonna get me there.
So question 2, now obviously because you use your dog in public, as a bystander, what are the do's and the don'ts when interacting with a guide dog?
So basically, don't interact is
There you go.
the end of it. It's pretty much, I know it's hard because there's an adorable dog at the shopping mall where you don't usually get to see dogs, but the best thing you can do is pretend it's not there. Like, don't look at it, don't talk to it. And a lot of people, I mean, not everybody, there's still a lot of people who don't know the don't pet a guide dog rule, but a lot of people do know it, but they still will lean down and give the baby face or the baby doggy voice to the dog, or they'll stick their hand out for him to sniff. And I'm like,
And that's very
you're not
distracting.
supposed to pet the dog because it's distracting.
Yeah.
And that's equally, if not more so, distracting if you're, making the squeaky voice or doing the little, trying to get their attention. It's still not okay because he still is trying to focus. And like I said, life in the paws. He is my eyes. Oh, he's relaxing. He is my eyes, and so it's very, very important that he stays focused at all times, even if he doesn't look like he's working. If the harness is on, ignore them completely. And you can always ask, like, if somebody's like booking it somewhere and they're on a mission, don't stop them. But if somebody's just hanging around, you can always go up and talk to them about the dog. Most of us don't mind.
Now, I'd like to know, what does the process of getting a guide dog look like?
So it's different for every school. The school I go to is called the Mira Foundation. They're fabulous. They're in Quebec, in Canada, which I'm from Canada. So basically you apply, and then they do an interview process. They look at your orientation and mobility skills, or O&M skills, so how effectively you use your cane. They look at your maturity, your independence, they look at your lifestyle, and then you have to go through, if you get approved for a dog, you get slotted into your class, so what weeks or months you're gonna be at the school, you live in the residence. In this case, it's 3 weeks to a month, and then you go through your matching process. So they figure out which dog is going to be the best one for you. And it turned out he was the best one for me.
Do you feel that you have more or lack of independence with a guide dog?
So much more independence, and that's why I've been a guide dog user for as long as I have. And I'm the kind of person, I will never not be a guide dog user. Like, guide dogs are just the way for me personally, because I feel like I have so much more independence. I feel like I have so much more confidence. I feel a lot more comfortable in public situations. I can walk faster, and it's just for me a more effective mobility tool than a cane personally.
Great. Yeah. Question: what is Gallop like without his harness? Usually.
So Gallop is like a pretty chill dog, harness on or off. He's just by nature very calm, which is why they gave him to me, because I travel a lot for work. I'm a motivational speaker, so I'm always on stages in front of loud clapping audiences. So they knew I needed a dog that was going to be very calm. So by nature, he is always quite calm like this. Okay. But certainly on harness, it's always work mode, whereas off harness, he is often like this, but he is going to still, you know, go sniff for food or on the ground, or he'll run in and out between people's legs, or he'll, you know, go wander around and make friends, sniff people, wagging tail, he gets all happy, and he's just a regular dog off harness. And my last guide dog, she had a much more dramatic difference. She was like work face on, and then like totally wild, crazed beast when she was off. It was hilarious. It was literally like an on-off switch for her. He's, like I said, a lot less noticeable of a difference. Guide dogs love what they do. Guide dogs love to work. They love having purpose. And, you know, sometimes people will say like, oh, I feel so bad for working dog. But the way I look at it is, your dog sits at home all day waiting for you to come home from work. My dog is with the person he loves the most all day, every day. He is always getting exercise. He's always out seeing the world, meeting new people, having all these great experiences, and he loves what he does. And they do. They love having purpose, so people shouldn't feel bad when they see working dogs. Dogs will let you know if they don't want to work. You can train a dog as well as you can. Like, they can be the best trained dog there is. But if they don't want to work, the dog's not going to work. That's the end of it. There's, you know, I've had friends who have had to retire their guide dogs early after 1 or 2 years of work because the dog decided it didn't want to work anymore and showed her, I'm done working. There's signs to look out for when a dog is ready for retirement, and not all guide dogs are going to ever be ready for retirement. There's lots of guide dogs who never want to retire and are very sad when they have to retire, but some are, and they'll let you know when. You know, when they see the harness, instead of getting excited, they'll whimper, or they'll lay down instead of getting up. If you put the harness on and you start to leave the house, they'll turn back to the door to walk back in, or they'll just sit down instead of walking. You'll be trying, you know, stand up, walk, go forward, and they'll just sit, and they won't move. And that's their way of saying, I'm done, I don't want to do this anymore. And so a working dog, you're not forcing it into any lifestyle, because dogs are smart. They can't talk, but they communicate, you know, in so many ways, what they want and what they need from us. That's how we know when they need to go to the bathroom, when they want to eat, when they need water. And it's the same with working. They'll tell you if they don't want to work. They'll make it very, very clear.
So if you had the harness, brought it over, would he just interact like?
Well, I have the harness beside me, and I'm guessing if he hears the sound of it, he'll probably gallop.
He knows?
Yep, see, he's like sitting up.
He's already ready to put it on. Yep.
And sometimes it's so funny because sometimes I'll have it off of him. This is his harness, by the way. It's quite the contraption.
So I hope you learned a thing or two about guide dogs, and I really appreciate Molly for being a part of this video, and Gallop.
Played a crucial role in this video.
Yeah, you did all the work, buddy.
Yeah. As usual, he's sitting here thinking, he's like, yeah, I always do.
So thank you so much for being a part of this. We also did a video on Molly's channel, which if you aren't subscribed to her, check her out. She does incredible videos and makes videos about blindness and her lifestyle, guide dogs as well.
Yeah, lots of guide dog videos. So if you want to learn more, I have an entire playlist.
And check out the video we did on her channel, which is kind of like all about you explain.
No, I'm not going to explain. If you want to know, you just got to go click the link.
Okay, there you go. I will see you guys next time with a brand new video. Bye.
Bye.
A camera is a device that allows us to capture visual images. Whether it be photographs or film, whatever the medium, we all have our motives to capture. I can't speak for everyone else, but I believe my purpose is quite unique. My name is James. I was born legally blind with 2 non-correctable ocular disorders.